something is happening in this country and you are being treated into some political drama. And before you know it, you will realize that we shall have forgotten our quest for accountability to the people who hold the reins of power. And what is happening in the country has angered Sabina Chege, and she is ranting like a lioness. We are told that William Samoei Ruto is no longer a darling of the Mount Kenya fraternity. The man who led a protest against their Udhamaki, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, before, during, and after election. In fact, we are being told by the Nyeri Governor Mutahi Kahiga that it is William Ruto who, after elections, told Rigathi Gachagua to say that RAILa will not get close to State House. That it is William Ruto who told Rigathi Gachagua to go and talk about shareholders in the government. In other words, the Nyeri governor is telling us that William Ruto, from the very word go, had hatched a plan to set up Rigathi Gachagua against the Kenyan citizens. But before we get into this, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to notice a few things. That this is not the first time we are treated to this kind of charade. It's been there. And the players are the same. You'll realize that it is Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto, Raila Odinga, Musalia Mudavadi, Moses Wetangula, Kalonzo Musyoka. You will ever see them. The players are the same. And you will also realize that politics is kind of seasonal and it is dynamic. Today, Mr. X and Z are working together. The following day, they are not reading from the same page. Just the other day, Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto were working together and planning on how to politically annihilate Raila Amolo Odinga to go to Bondo. In fact, when the Mount Kenya fraternity, for those who voted for William Ruto, when they voted for William Ruto and they voted against Raila Amolo Odinga to go to Bondo. Today, Raila Amolo Odinga is not going to Bondo, but he's headed to AU. Whether he's going to get it or not, I don't know. But that is where he's headed, and he's got the key to State House. But one bitter truth that really pains me is that in all this drama, you and I are not in the picture. When they sit on the table of negotiations, they no longer think of you. The only time they think of you is when they want to negotiate using the numbers that you give them. They say, I'm a Kisi and I control 2.5. I'm a Kamba and Kambas follow me, I control 3 million. I come from Mount Kenya and we give you 4 million votes. I come from Nyanza and they follow me, I've got, 5 million votes. That is the only time you become important to the politicians. The second time that you become important to them is when they have stolen public money and they are being pursued. They will come back to you and tell you they want to finish me because I'm a member of your community. So those are the realities. We are being told that someone is planning to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. And Sabina Chege and the Mount Kenya fraternity are saying no. And I want us to go straight to what Anne Waiguru once said, that you can only borrow a Kikuyu, but you cannot buy a Kikuyu.
All other issues that have been deliberated on the BBI with regard to women gains, for example, we have been at the forefront saying we need the two-thirds gender rule. Now we have secured it in the constitution. We tried through Bunge, it did not work. The constitution of Kenya is the one now which is going to be the safeguard for the women. So we are very grateful about that, and I like what majority has said. A lot of the noise that happens out there, sometimes we keep thinking that you can actually be influenced because of social media. People have seen today Mount Kenya voting as one block. Kirinyaga has voted unanimously, other counties have voted unanimously. I said it before, I will say it again. You can rent a Kikuyu, but you cannot buy a Kikuyu. Bottom line, they will still vote for their own people. They know what is good for the region and they will stand with the region.
Ladies and gentlemen, William Ruto has come to the reality of the fact that you can only rent a Kikuyu, but you cannot buy them. In fact, the statements of Sabina Chege will show you that indeed you cannot. When Sabina Chege realized that there had been a plan to impeach Rigathi Gachagua, she said the following, and I want us to go very slowly to some of these. This is what Sabina Chege is telling us, that we have a habit of destroying our own leaders. In other communities, you will find leaders who have been elected for 25 years. But here we are, always waiting for the next election to change our leaders. So Sabina feels that they are being compelled to vote against Rigathi Gachagua, to sign a motion of no confidence against Gachagua. And it's referring to certain quarters where leaders have been there and they're being re-elected over and over again. And she reads mischief. Sabina is saying that I cannot sign an impeachment motion against Rigathi Gachagua. I wonder, is it only our man who should be targeted? So she's very categorical that their man is being targeted. But in this video, I wanted to humbly submit to you that the sentiments of Sabina Chege reflects the sentiments of the larger Mount Kenya community, especially those who voted for William Samoei Ruto to send RAILa to Bondo. And apart from the fact that they feel that Rigathi is being targeted, there is more than meets the eye. And William Ruto is intentionally and deliberately doing his politics to anger the Mount Kenya community. And this is what I want to prove to you. You know, there has been bad blood between Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua. We've been told that Rigathi was denied a chopper, and now William Ruto is saying that perhaps Rigathi is the one who had a hand in the Gen Z's demonstration to set up a coup against his presidency. And of course, Rigathi has said always that there are people who are being placed to undermine him. People like Kimani Chungwa and Ndindi Nyoro. But apart from that, William Ruto did what we call sacrilege. When he dissolved the cabinet, Mutahi Kahiga, who is the governor of Nyeri, warned William Ruto that as you prepare to reconstitute your cabinet, don't dare touch our 8 slots because we gave you 4 million votes that you must respect. So even if you are planning, because there were allegations there that he wanted to poach some of opposition leaders, and of course it came to pass that Oparanya, Joho, John Mbadi, and Opiyo were incorporated into the cabinet. But before that, Mount Kenya, through their mouthpiece, Mutahi Kahiga, who is the Nyeri governor, had warned William Ruto that if you're planning to take opposition as part of your cabinet, what you call government of national unity, a broad-based government, don't think of touching our 8 slots, not even one. William Ruto dared them. Not only did he slash part of the 8 seats that they were yearning for, but he did the most unthinkable by taking away the finance docket. And that is part of the anger that Mount Kenya is having. This is part of the anger that Sabina Chege is trying to expose here. Because there are certain dockets in this country that have always been meant for certain communities. Now, even to make it worse, William Ruto took the finance docket, and instead of giving it to someone else, he decided to give it to someone with a name beginning with O. Of course, John Mbadi's name does not begin with O, but that docket is not supposed to go to Nyanza. To be very specific, to Luo land. According to some people, Luos are not supposed to hold certain ministries. And I want you to listen to Ferdinand Waititu explaining that there are certain prestigious dockets that are supposed to be held by certain people. And then there are other positions which are not so very prestigious that, yes, can be given to, now Tom, Dick and Harry.
Sisi ndio tulichagua Mheshimiwa William Ruto kwa chama cha UDA. Ninasema ukweli ama uongo? Hebu nione ni wangapi walichagua Ruto hapa na UDA. Hebu nione mkono watu wale tulichagua UDA. Si nyinyi wote mlikuwa wa UDA? Sisi ndio tulimchagua. Sisi ndio tunaona tulidanganywa ama hatukudanganywa. Alitudanganya ama hakutudanganya? Hebu chukueni mkono wale wanaamini tulidanganywa. Si ni kweli? Si tulidanganywa zaidi sana. Lakini tumesema ukidanganya Mkikuyu na mtu wa Mount Kenya na Mkenya vile ametudanganya, mambo yako inaenda mulama. Ni si hata nyinyi mnaona vile hii serikali inaenda. Ama amuoni? Isn't it? Kwa sababu mambo yake yote imeonekana ni ya uongo. Uongo ya mwisho sasa ni hii juzi sasa alikuwa ametuambia hakuna siku ambayo kutakuwa na serikali ya nusu mkate. Alisema ama hakusema? Si alisema? Kwa hutakuwa na serikali ya nusu mkate na hakuna siku Raila Odinga ataingia kwa serikali. Saa hii ameingia ama hajaingia? Ameingia ama hajaingia? Hebu chukueni mkono kama mimi nasema ukweli. Si sasa serikali ni nusu mkate? Ile kitu imetufurahisha. Sisi kama watu wa Mount Kenya ametuacha kwa mataa. Saa hii ile ministry, ile wizara mzuri kabisa sasa imechukuliwa na ODM. Wizara ile iko na nguvu sasa imechukuliwa na ODM. Sisi watu wa Mount Kenya ukiangalia ni ministry gani tumepewa, wewe utajiuliza na hiyo inafanyanga nini? Tumepata haujulikani. Hazina nguvu zile tumepewa. Kazi yetu ni kupewa kitabati tuko na bendera lakini hakuna kitu. Ni moyo huo kaendelea nania. Sio ni ukweli?
So if you listen to Ferdinand Waititu, there are certain positions that are only meant for them. And this is one of the reasons why Sabina, Chege and the group are very angry. That not only did William Ruto slash the slots, but also took the most prestigious one and gave it to someone they felt was an enemy. Raila Odinga was supposed to go to Bondo, is now determining who to be given these positions. And as I said, it is about the politicians. It is not about you and I. We were all forgotten. It is about those who are close to the oligarchs and the powers that be. Number two, William Ruto today appointed nominated someone to go into the seat of Attorney General. And that was none other than Dorcas Oduor. There has never been anyone with that name in the Attorney General's office. And so, remember, that post was meant for Justin Muturi. It was supposed to be one of the 8 slots that Mutahi Kahiga was talking about. And so this again has gone to Raila, or rather someone that is seen to be sharing a name with Raila Odinga. I have tried to check where Dorcas Oduor is coming from. Something tells me that she's from Nyanza because of the name. Because in this country, we identify ourselves by name instead of identifying ourselves as Kenyans. We play ethnic-based politics. And that is how we are divided during elections. That is how we are set up against each other, sometimes to kill our neighbors that we have been and we've been living with for many years. So Ruto added salt into injury by taking another prestigious position from Mount Kenya and giving it to someone that seems to be closely related to Raila Amolo Odinga. And that's why I'm telling you that William Ruto is doing everything and anything to vex the Mount Kenya leaders. When they voted for him, before, during, and after, they told him, this old man, they called him Mganga, this sorcerer, had come and took away our former president, Uhuru Kenyatta. He changed his mind. Uhuru Kenyatta was now taking development projects to Kisumu. Don't allow this man to get close to you. And I remember Rigathi Gachagua once confronted Raila that the reason why we fear you is that before you came close to our Udhamaki, Uhuru Kenyatta, he was a good man. But after you had rubbed shoulders, you bewitched our son and he forgot about us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the reason why Sabina Chege is complaining. It is not only about the impeachment of Gachagua, but apart from planning to impeach Gachagua, their positions have been taken away and they have been given to Raila, or those who are very close to Raila. And this is an abomination, according to Ferdinand Waititu, according to some of these politicians. The last time I checked, we are all Kenyans and we all pay taxes. But I still repeat, I wonder why the conversation has to be about the MPs and the former prime minister and the former president and the deputy president. I have never seen any conversation that is going around you and I, the hustlers, the wastage in the government, corruption, good governance. No one thinks about you. And as I told you, we only become important when they want to dish out positions using us as their numbers. Let us be careful so that we unite. We can leave them to do whatever they want and we unite the way Gen Zs had started uniting. And we tell them this is how we want to be governed. Because in chapter 1 of the Constitution, it should be a government of the people by the people. We have a constitution and we have only donated power to those leaders. We must change our destiny. We must take action now so that as they sit down and start dishing out positions and talk about themselves and how to betray each other and how to, because what is happening is about betrayal and interest. We should also champion our cause and tell them that we will no longer allow them to determine our cause because we have the power during the election. Next time when you vote, let us vote in the right leaders. Let us vote devoid of emotions. Let us vote devoid of ethnic thinking. Let us vote looking at the future, knowing very well that you only vote once and you will live with that leader for 5 good years, crying foul, trying to topple him, going to the streets, doing what? Someone was asking the Gen Zs that maybe they allowed William Ruto to lie to them that they were the hustlers. Remember when they were told, wangapi wamekubali tutoe economy hapa chini tuweke juu? How many agree that we now lift up the economy from bottom to up? You remember that kind? And some people are saying that Gen Zs are now, they made this bed and they have to lie on it. Many people voted for William Ruto because of their lies. This time round, making a mistake for the first time is never a mistake. But when we repeat that mistake, it becomes a problem. I saw people allowing William Ruto in Mombasa and Kilifi, lying to them and giving them promises. And I knew we are still very far from reaching our destiny because we are very gullible. People are clapping for him as he gives unnecessary and unrealistic promises. And I thought, where are we headed as a nation? Ladies and gentlemen, Mount Kenya is angry because they voted with a target to block someone from State House. Those people who voted for William Ruto, why did you vote him? We are all Kenyans. Whether you're from Mount Kenya, or Nyanza or Western, where we need leaders with integrity to occupy offices, not recycling of leaders who have tasted the very corrupt money, and they will perpetuate corruption, I can assure you.